Yeah, the Honorable Minister, Honorable Excellent, and also we have now with us Mr. Muhammad Ali Jana. Already I informed that our honorable chief guest, our honorable ambassadors, and they all have joined us. And also we have now with us Mr. Eric Meja. He's from Netherlands. It's a great pleasure, and we are looking also that our Mr. Dr. Sanjeev Laik, he also attending with us. He's from India, our WASME head office. Mr. Syed Abdul Momen he's the head of SME. He also with us, and Mr. Zakir Jaman. He's the country representative for UNIGO. And we have with us our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shayatullah. And we will give our some details about our speakers, about our chief guest, about our guest of honor, when we'll give the floor to each. So thank you everybody, and Assalamu alaikum. So let us introduce for the program from our secretary in charge, Mr. Rifat Mahmood. Mr. Rifat Mahmood, please floor to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, and very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of International Web Conference organized by World Association of SMEs, Bangladesh. Today's topic is SMEs role, financial and industrial growth. We have among us as a moderator, Mr. S.M. Julur Rahman, Vice President and Head of World Association of SMEs in Bangladesh. Little about WASME. The World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises is a global non-profit organization headquartered at Noida in India that has been spearheading the cause and development of small and medium enterprises all over the world since its inception in 1980. Over 40 years, WASME has emerged as one of the most representative, effective, and leading international organizations working towards the promotion of SMEs. So something about WASME Bangladesh. WASME Bangladesh chapter has been initiated and led by Mr. S.M. Julur Rahman. Mr. Julur Rahman is also the Vice President and Head of World Association of SMEs in Bangladesh. He is also Chairman of Rahman Group of Companies and Director of Dhaka Chamber and Chamber of Commerce and Industries. As a seasoned organizer, he is the founder president of Bangladesh Qatar Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as the president of Bangladesh Bamboo Cane and Made Crafts Foundation. Adding to his latest list of achievements, he has been elected as a senator representing Bangladesh for the biggest investment angels forum, World Business Angels Forum. He is relentlessly working for the development of SMEs as well as for micro enterprises, not only at home, but also across the globe. So without further delay, let us welcome Mr. S.M. Julur Rahman to conduct today's session.
Thank you, Mr. Rifat Mahmood. Thank you for your very good introduction. And okay, let us now introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Dr. Muhammad Mr. Shayatullah. He's a professor and renowned our university, Dhaka University. And let us hear from our honorable keynote speaker. Please, floor to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, the honorable moderator. Honorable chief guest and the minister, Mr. Nurul Mujid Mahmood Humayun, MP of the Ministry of Industry, the special guests from our country and from other countries of the world, and dear viewers, a very good morning and welcome to this webinar from my side. Can you please allow me to share the screen, honorable moderator, please?
Yeah, please. Let him share, okay. Yeah, please.
Not yet, please.
It's not sharing yet.
Yes, it is now. It is now. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll be presenting today the SME's role relating to the financial and industrial growth and in the post-COVID scenario. Although we are continuing to the pandemic still, depending on the regional variation of the intensity, but still we are in. So the post-COVID is still a predictive scenario and with a variation in the country context. So at the very beginning, let me tell the very well established scenario of the SMEs in the world, that the SMEs are the engines of growth and they are the drivers of industrialization across the world. And if you see the scenario in the world, we can see that 95% of the enterprises in the world are being captured by the SMEs, and in the European Union, covering 99% of the industrial sector. If you look at the share of employment, about 60 to 70% of the employment are being generated by the SMEs, and 85% of the employment in European Union goes to the SMEs. So no doubt about that, that SMEs are the pillars of any economy, and they are the heart. And with this pandemic, the heart is mostly affected because they have less sustainability in terms of the financial resources and the cash flow. They are highly dependent on regular cash flow, and the buffer or the stock of money is less compared to the big players of the industry. Therefore, this very timely discussion on the SMEs and their future. If we see about the composition of the SMEs, we can see that 67% of the SMEs are non-agricultural in the developing countries, where it is 33%. That means the more diversified industrial structure in the developed countries comparing the manufacturing and the agricultural, whereas the developing countries have more dependence on the manufacturing and less on agricultural industrialization. So from that perspective, we can see what the scenario in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has progressed a lot during the last decade and has become a role model for many indicators of the development around the world. And SMEs are driving in the seat, are in the driving seat. SMEs lead the industrialization, economic growth, employment generation, and poverty reduction in Bangladesh. The social inclusion and inequality reduction is highly dependent on the growth and development of SMEs. We can see that during the period of 2009 to 2014, 1.5 million new jobs have been created by the SME sector. And we can easily imagine how strongly SME is contributing to the growth mode of the growth journey of the country. If you see the share of the SMEs in the economic growth, we can see that 1/4 of the GDP in our country is being coming from the SME sector, and it is more in the developing or emerging economies, so it is 40%, and in some countries it is even more. So the role of the SMEs is still has the scope to increase, and the further growth of the SMEs can boost up more to double-digit growth of the country in the coming days. In Bangladesh, SMEs are at the very core of the economy, where we can see that about 80% of the industrial employment are coming from the SMEs, and 35% of the total employment is being generated by the SME sector. Around 25% of the labor force are being engaged here, and 90% of the total industrial units are in the SME category. So we can easily understand the dominant coverage of the SMEs across the industries of the country. And about 75% to 80% of the export are being generated by the SMEs, and they create around 40 to 45% of the manufacturing value addition. Now, if we compare the impact of the COVID-19 on the SME sector in the local and international perspective, then we can understand how we are doing and how we might be doing in the coming days. If you see that the indication of the GDP growth in the world for this year has been a decline by around 4.9% as estimated by the IMF. It will be adjusted maybe at the end of the year, but certainly there is a reduction or there is a decline. And UNCTAD estimates so a 40% decline in investment. Unemployment is growing around the world, which is more than 5%. And also the global merchandise trade is going to decline around 32%. This is a global scenario. But in contrast, Bangladesh has a contrasting scenario, which is the pride of the country. We can see that this year we have exceptionally recorded more than 5% growth, and our only export growth has declined by 16.93% for the last year, but the country has started to regain, as you can see, that the export in the first quarter of the current year has recorded a positive growth compared to the first quarter of the last year, which means the SMEs in the country are turning around. They're coming back and they are growing again. And the unemployment scenario, which is also very positive, that compared to the last year, it was 4.9%, which has been recorded to 4.15% in the current year. That means even during the pandemic, the country has successfully been able to hold or reduce the unemployment. Where the global unemployment has been growing, we have been able, the government goes to the, credit goes to the government that successfully handled and contributed to hold the growth of the unemployment scenario. And these positive achievements are being the reflection of how SMEs are performing in the country, although there have been a setback for the SMEs due to the COVID-19 in the initial times. And what has been the impact? The impact is common, okay? The impact is common, and there are supply side impact, there are demand side impact, and also spillover impact on the financial markets. In the supply side, due to the COVID-19, we have seen a decline in labor supply as most people have been maintaining the social distance and isolation, and industries are shut down for the time being. And there has also been a breakdown of global supply chain. So the production in the manufacturing sector has been stopped for a while. And the demand side impact has been the reduced income as people have been away from their work site for a couple of days and a couple of weeks. And there has been a loss of revenue for the companies. And also the liquidity crisis, which is the most significant problem for the SMEs, is the short of money as they have been out of operation, and also a reduction in consumption and spending, which has reduced the demand and also the money flow for the SMEs. And due to these two, that has resulted in the spillover impact on the financial markets due to the reduced confidence of the lenders and also a reduction of credit. Given on this scenario, there has been many positive initiatives and the decisions and the declarations on behalf of the government. So what is going to happen in the post-COVID scenario? As I said before, it's more still unpredictable. Depending on the country context, the prediction will be different, definitely. But what we can see that in our country and also in some part of the world, that new and innovative SMEs are emerging. So SMEs are hardest hit by the COVID-19, no doubt about that. At the same time, the good side is that we have a lot of opportunities that SMEs in the innovative and new sectors are coming and emerging. And emerging innovative SMEs are more technology driven because they want to be more resilient to the decline in demand or niche market development. And due to this COVID scenario, there are some question marks to the conventional development, to the development of the world trade and investment during the last 2 or 3 decades. That what do we predict that there might be high growth of domestic or regional supply chain as the supply chain of international supply chain has been broken by the COVID-19, and the focus might shift from the cost cutting to the more convenience of the firms. And SMEs will engage in more subcontracting and value chain integration within the country that we also might foresee in the coming days will increase in our country. And this will create the opportunities for the firms in 2 different ways. It will lead the way to emerge new SMEs in the specialized supply of inputs and services. And the existing SMEs will go for expansion of the capacity. And this will attract more foreign direct investment in the country in the coming days that we expect. So the positive scenario that we have seen in the SMEs even during the pandemic, and which is drastically or to some extent is very different from many parts of the world in Bangladesh, is because of the very well designed, well crafted policies and the frameworks of the government with some support and the stimulus packages. And Bangladesh is in a high growth track and successfully keeps the growth momentum during this year also. And the government has successfully launched a series of stimulus packages for SMEs and also for some industry specific stimulus packages that have been well designed and well in time that has helped the SMEs to revive from their setback to the new growth stage. And SMEs in Bangladesh are already getting the benefits of liberal financing policy of the government, and that we have seen during the first quarter of the current fiscal year, export has recorded a 2.5% growth compared to the first quarter of the last year. So this is a clear sign that the SMEs are coming back and they are on their regular footing. And with the government support, SMEs are being started to turn around. At this point, the SMEs can grow further, and they need two important support. The first thing is the sustainable digital business transformation, as many businesses will do to face the attack of the pandemic. They need a transformation and they need a support in that. And also in the new context, we need some skilled and different workforce. That support will be required by the SMEs in the coming days. Those two enabling factors will lead their growth to a higher extent. And we have already SME policy that has been a wonderful policy framework that has been designed by the present government, and it is under implementation. So the implementation of the SME policy will lay the foundation of the strategic growth of the SMEs in our country, and also the implementation of the stimulus packages will help them to revitalize in the ongoing time of the pandemic. That was from my side in a short presentation, as the time has been allowed around 10 minutes. So that's from me. Thank you so much. And the floor goes to the moderator.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Professor Shariatullah. Very well, you have already mentioned about the SME's current position and about the previous and for Bangladesh situation. And this is very good that, yeah, already we know that there are many SMEs already, they got serious losses during this pandemic. And also, you already mentioned that there are coming new SMEs. This is right. But we need to support these new SMEs as we supported before. And already also you mentioned that our government already given this stimulus package for the support of the SMEs, and it is continuing. Yes. It is not the finished. It is also, we are looking for the future. The government will take more initiative for the development of the SMEs, and SME sector is under in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh is under the industry ministry, and the key person of this ministry, our honorable minister, he is with us, and we hope our industry minister, he will take, as he before taken, he will take more proper initiative for the development of SMEs. Now with the WASME, World Association for SMEs, we are working not only for the Bangladesh, we also trying to support across the world. So I hope this from our today's webinar, from the different countries, we have this participant, we have the speakers, and I hope that it will be accelerated to the different country. So thank you very much, Mr. Shariatullah. Let us hear now to from which one? From the banking side, our expert. Let us hear something. Mr. Syed Abdul Momen.
Hi, good afternoon.
Okay, Mr. Syed Abdul Momen. So I should say something about Mr. Syed Abdul Momen. Where is he? Just wait. Okay, Mr. Abdul Momen. Mr. Abdul Momen took over as the head of SME banking on July 13, 2017. So Abdul Momen joined Bragg Bank in August 2005. He has 13 years of multi-factor experience in the banking sector, primarily concentrating in technology, operation, and business function. In August 2007, Mr. Momen was posted in Bragg. Excuse me. Mr. Momen was posted in Bragg Afghanistan Bank as Chief Operating Officer on a two-year on a two-year tenure. During his tenure in Afghanistan, he looked after the bank's SME businesses and expanded bank's network in three provinces. He has also contributed in the development of SME banking policies and guidelines of Central Bank of Afghanistan. After his return from Afghanistan 2009, he joined Bragg Bank in Bangladesh SME division, and fortunately now he became the head in the SME division of the Bragg Bank. Mr. Momin started his career in ANZ Greenlands Bank in 1999, where he played an instrumental role in the migration of core banking platform in Middle East and South Asia region, including Bangladesh, Jordan, Oman, Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, Nepal, Sri Lanka. After the acquisition of Greenlands Bank's operation by Standard Chartered Bank. So let us welcome Mr. Abdul Momen. Please, we'd like to hear from you as per our topics and about the financial position for the post-COVID regarding our SMEs. Thank you, Mr. Momen. Please, floor to you.
Thank you, Mr. Zillu, for the introduction. And I'm very happy and honored to speak in front of our Honorable Industry Minister, Mr. Nurul Mojid Mamun sir, and also all the guests who are here listening to us. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I would like to thank the keynote speaker who have rightly presented the data of Bangladesh and how we have successfully tackled or coped up with this COVID impact, and especially this was possible because of a strong support from the government. And the main thing I would say, the turning point was when in May, our government have decided to slowly open up the economy. And this was the turning point for us. And many people at that time actually said many things about like, is it too early to open? But the government have taken the right decision, or it's a balance between lives and livelihood. So, and the government has taken the right decision to open up. And as a result, our SMEs are now, I say, like we are back on track by more than 95% SMEs are back on track. And the supply chain have resumed. And over last couple of months, we are also as a bank, we are doing good business. And I'll give you a brief about Bragg Bank. Bragg Bank is owned by 46% owned by Bragg. Bragg is the largest NGO in the world. And Bragg Bank was initially formed to finance the actually collateral-free loan to the SMEs of the country. And at that point in time, when we started our journey 20 years back, at that point, banks didn't provide any sort of financing to this particular segment.
Okay.
So at that time, we have our past chairman, Sir Abed KCMG. He actually started this bank only to provide collateral-free financing to SMEs. And over the years, we are now the largest collateral-free lender or collateral-free. We have the largest collateral-free SME portfolio. Almost 40% of the market is ours in terms of collateral-free loans to SMEs. And we have the second largest SME portfolio amongst all other banks. So what we did when first COVID struck, we have decided to be even more closer to our customers, to understand them better. What are the problems? So, and however, we have a large sales force also. We have around 2,500 odd sales force. And what we did, we immediately have done a survey over phone, connecting to all our SME customers. We took a sample size of 5,000 SME customers, and we did a survey to find out their problems and then design solutions for them. So how we can help them, be by their side. So what we did at that time, when we have seen the problems, we have seen that they weren't able to cater to their debts. They are even not able to cater to their expenses. So at that point in time, we first has given them the loan repayment moratorium, and then government has given the circular to give forbearance to the loans. And also at the right point in time, government have come up with the 20,000 crore taka stimulus package, especially for SMEs. So these are some very good tools that the government and the policymakers have come up with, which has assisted them to come back quickly on track. So we have continued this survey, and every month after COVID impact, we have started doing this survey round after round every month, one round every month, to find out how they are recovering. And as I was saying in the beginning, the government's decision to open up in May was very, very crucial. And this has enabled the SMEs to come back on track. And right now they are totally back on track. And another point, as a financer, I would like to explain that this is the time when we need to be more closer to the customer rather than move away from them. So, and because it's raining in Dhaka, so I would like to say that we as a bank or as a financial institution, we have to hold the umbrella on the customers when it is raining. And we don't want to be there just on the sunny days. So that is our motto. And from May and from June onwards, we have also started our loan disbursement engine. And I'll be happy to say what we have done. The way we used to assess SME businesses pre-COVID, we have advised our team to look at the businesses even more with more empathy, and took the business financial up to March pre-COVID and then provide the financing. Because if we consider the pandemic period and its impact, then no banks will be able to finance these businesses. And if we don't finance these businesses, then later on the banks will end up with NPLs. Because if we don't finance them now, they won't be able to come back on their feet. So this is the time when we need to loosen our credit assessment techniques and provide more financing to these SMEs so that they can quickly come back on track and start contributing to our economy. And we have done that from the government stimulus package. Yes, I would say that the banks have taken some time initially, because this package is something new for the banks to understand. So it took us a while to get into or understand this package and start disbursement from this package. But you would be happy to know, like, we have already from BRAC Bank side, our target is around 1100 crore Bangladeshi taka from the package. We have already disbursed around 700 crore from the package. Whereas overall country, among the 20,000 crore package, we have already disbursed, the banks together disbursed almost 7,000 crore from the package. And we think that by December, we will be able to finish the remaining part of the disbursement from the loan package. And this package is specially designed to provide the extra support or to support the dent that has been caused due to the pandemic. And that is another big thing. I don't know many economies in the world providing so much facility from the government. So I would end there. Maybe later, if there are any questions, I'll be able to answer. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Zillur.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Moomen. And very good. You have mentioned that how you're planning to support the SMEs post-pandemic. It's very good. And it is very much tremendous, I think, that this is, I myself very much happy to know as a one what I can say as a one worker, one organizer for the SMEs people, that Black Bank already distribute already. You have given 700 crore. Already you have sanctioned from your 1100 crore amount, and I think from the comparatively to the other bank as I got the information from our some other from other banks, that yet they not disburse so much money, so much amount they not yet done. But you have done 700 crore from the 1100 crore. It is very much tremendous report. I think it is tremendous position. Thank you very much, and we hope you will support more for the SMEs, because many SMEs, they come to us, they are going here and there, but they face the problem for the access to the banking system. So I think already you also mentioned that you also you also you also talk with them about the problem. So I think it is also very good initiative if you talk with the SMEs. You means all the who are involved in this SME sector of the Black Bank, and as well as the other banks also. So then it will be better for the SMEs. If they can express themselves about their problem, why they cannot be entered, why they cannot getting the support, I mean the loan from the your bank or the other bank. So if they can, at least if they can express themselves to you or to other bank, they will feel happy and they'll get the way. Thank you very much, Mr. Momen. Okay, let us because of time, usually always we like, and this is we mention our chief guest. He would be there in the last because of our there are some our program, and there is on what I can say the TV live. So I like to give my floor to our honorable minister, our honorable Mr. I'd like to give our honorable Mr. Nurul Mojid Mahmood Humayun MP, and we got a very much dynamic minister as per we are observing, and let us hear from our chief guest. Assalamu alaikum and welcome our chief guest, please.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator Jillur. So I welcome everybody here from abroad, the foreign countries, those who are participating here in this evening. From my side, I welcome everybody, and I have heard this papers, the main papers they've given for the World SMEs. Now let me long celebration of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's birth centenary, our father of the nation. Let me begin by remembering the greatest Bengali ever, the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, with deep reverence and homage for his tremendous sacrifice for the sake of freedom and economic emancipation of the people of Bangladesh. I'm really happy to be present today at this virtual webinar titled Post-COVID SMEs Role, Financial and Industrial Growth, organized by the World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises. At the very outset, let me allow conveying my heartfelt thanks to the organizers for their arduous efforts to organize this event in the context of ongoing COVID-19 outbreak. Ladies and gentlemen, as a driving force of global economy, SMEs are particularly important. In a developing country like Bangladesh, economic and overall development for organization, generation of employment and poverty eradication can be achieved through strengthening of SMEs. In our country, nearby 90% of the industries fall under the small and medium category. For this reason, SME sector is especially important to achieve the national development goals. The contribution of SMEs to the GDP is almost 25% to have the overall development of the country by safeguarding the economy, society and environment. We have considered small and medium enterprises as one of the key factors for industrial development in the Industrial Policy 2016. The contribution of industrial sector to the national economy is increasing gradually. More women are starting their own business due to our entrepreneur-friendly policies. As a result, Bangladesh has reached ahead of neighboring countries in terms of poverty alleviation, employment generation, women empowerment, and many other socio-economic indicators. One of the hardest hit sector during the pandemic is the private sector. All industries, including SMEs, are severely affected by this coronavirus pandemic. In the budget for 5-year 2020-2021, our government has announced a series of stimulus packages for CMSMEs to deal with the adverse impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Moreover, Honorable Prime Minister Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina announced a stimulus package of Taka 20,000 crore for SMEs, which is now being disbursed among the industries and small businesses. Bangladesh Small and Cottage Industries Corporation, BISIC, and the SME Foundation under the Ministry of Industries are playing proactive role in the process of identifying the actually affected SMEs and disbursing the loan among them to recover the losses of the grassroots level. Already the bankers have
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're hearing you.
did you hear me?
Yeah, it's audible. Yes, we hear you.
Thank you. So, in order to narrow down the gap between the SMEs and the buyers during COVID period, the SME Foundation has taken prompt initiatives to link up with the CMSMEs with the new realities and sustain their business so that they could continue to stay in the supply chain. As a result, our CMSMEs are recovering very fast and turning back to the normal flow of business gradually. As the Minister in charge of industries, I assure you that our industry-friendly government will take every possible step to further extend the support given to the SMEs as COVID-19 pandemic still strikes at the biggest challenges for us, both nationally and globally, to overcome. I am hopeful that today's webinar will play an effective role in formulating appropriate policy measures and programs in order to safeguard the interest of the COVID-19 prone SMEs and tackling the COVID-19 impacts on our SME sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my sincere thanks to the organizers and the moderator, Mr. Jillur Rahman, for his outstanding role behind the screen in organizing such an interesting and time-befitting webinar for addressing the problems of SMEs in and around the world. I must thank the panelists and discussants of today's event for their active and substantive participation. I believe that with the collaborative efforts of both the public and private sector, we would be able to overcome the challenges of COVID-19 successfully, and a new horizon of development would surely be coming out very soon under the prudent leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, mother of the nation. With these expectations, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you all for your attention. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu, long live Bangladesh. Thank you all.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your tremendous speech you have mentioned.
I'm already in an industrial zone sitting here around Dhaka, and all businessmen are small and big there around me.
Right. Yeah,
We're marching today.
that means
Okay.
you are the practical minister.
We're marching, yes. We're practical, we're marching. One member of parliament from my neighboring area industrial, he's also here, Mr. Nazrul Islam Babu. He's doing this. He also, we all the government members, parliament members, I see all of the members from India, Nepal and others, they're also in the panels. So we are also working with the same speed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And just now you mentioned Mr. Nazrul Islam Babu. He's my very good friend.
Yeah, you're beside me. You can see him.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Babu.
You always go to the talk show.
You, but
I know. We are very much close. Thank you, Honorable
That's
Minister.
right.
I am
That's
very much
right.
happy. You are always working. You are always working for the development of industrial sector in
Exactly.
Bangladesh. And
That's right.
with the business people, we hear about this. That your dynamism in this industry, in this ministry, it will reach Bangladesh to one landmark position.
you.
Already we are in the position. We are on the track. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and for your kind speech and your all the.
Thank you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you all.
My pleasure. Okay, let us come. I hope, Honorable Minister, you would be with us. We would not take more time.
Let me hear you. So I'm waiting.
Yeah. Okay. And also, maybe you have forget that we have our one friend. He's from Netherlands. He's Mr. Eric Meijer. His name Mr. Eric Meijer. Mr. Eric Meijer. He is the very much support
Yeah.
for Bangladesh. Very much in 2000.
Remember. And you know the man is also here. You know the people are also participating.
Thank you, Minister, Honorable Minister. So this Mr. Eric Meijer, he supported Bangladesh in 2014 from Bangladesh business delegation. We visited Netherlands, and I was also one of the member of this delegation. So, and he arranged this from his country. So we are very much grateful to Netherlands, to Mr. Eric Meijer, and I hope he will expand his support to Bangladesh as he did before. So. Let us go to our now other speaker.
I can give you a small presentation if you like.
Yeah, please. Okay. Yeah, Honorable Minister is here, so please, Mr. Eric Meijer. Okay, the floor is to you. Thank you.
Can I share the screen?
Yeah, please.
With screen with.
Yeah, just sharing. Yeah. You got it?
Yes. You see it? You see my screen?
Not yet coming. It's I think. Can you share it? No, it's okay. It's coming now, I think.
It's coming?
Yeah, it's coming now.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you very much. And you visit also several times Holland. Last time you were sitting next to our queen on the lustrum of the Erasmus University. She's still talking about you. So thank you very much. And we erected in the beginning of the COVID time a think tank, and it's called Mind Master Mundo. The world currently has many challenges. This goes without saying. We can discuss for hours global warmings, desertification, soil degradation, lack of water, increasingly powerful storms, increasingly flooding, poverty, food, and insecurity, access to clean renewable energy solutions, etc. And we are not a think tank to produce a lot of documents with professors and universities, but we want to be very practical. Mind Master Mundo is formed as a global think tank dedicated to evaluating, promoting, and implementing positive solutions rather than constantly discussing the problems. And Yesterday I was in the most beautiful fisherman village in Holland. It's called Marken. So this lady provided us a bread with fish, and she wishes all the fishermen in Bangladesh good luck during the COVID time. Mind Master Muno is formed as a global think tank dedicated to evaluating, promoting, and implementing the problems. And then, yeah, we are working on soil degradation, lack of water, solar power, bioenergy, and solar energy. It takes too much time to explain everything, but one example is through increased use of chemicals in farming and in ignoring crop rotation. About 70% of the available farmland on Earth is degraded to a greater or lesser degree. Some land is now infertile and therefore cannot support communities, which will lead to greater starvation and mass immigration. And we find a solution to upgrade this farmland, etc. But everybody who wants to know more about it can go to the president, Mr. Zuller. I sent him a bigger document, and I'm very honored to be here and hope to work together. And I think in the future, all the SMEs in the world can take the situation in the world with climate change, etc., which is a very important subject, maybe afterwards more important than COVID-19. And I think there is, if you're talking about innovation in SME, if they take certain subjects from climate change, like we are doing with these 5 subjects, they can upgrade and having a great future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Eric Major. You have very good idea, and also about the climate change, what you are working, and I know that you are working well for the also climate changing, and as well as also for the SMEs. I hope, and you have one Mind Master Mundo. This is the think tank. It is working worldwide. So I hope we from the Bangladesh, not only from Bangladesh, we have our friends from Maldives, we have our friends from Nepal, from Oman, from India, from different countries here. And already in our last webinar, there are also 15 countries. Now also we have our many, we have our lot of participants, and also many speakers want to attend with us. But the problem, you know, because of the time, because of our honorable minister, other speakers, we need to cover the time. For this way, we are with our some like these speakers honorary to do with us. Thank you, Mr. Eric Major. We'll be in touch. So let us hear from our honorable ambassador. Our honorable His Excellency Mr. Taib Salim Alawi. He is the ambassador from Oman in Bangladesh, and he also very much dynamic, and we always be in touch. So let us hear something. Honorable Excellency Mr. Taib, please. We are waiting to hear something from you.
Thank you very much, brother. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, thank you. We are here. We're hearing you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, all of you who are listening and watching me. It is my great pleasure to join you in this international webinar organized by Mr. Zulur Rahman, head of Bangladesh of World Association for SMEs. My sincere greeting to the chief guest, Honorable Minister MB, Noor Majid Humayun, Minister of Industry of Bangladesh. Also my greeting to Mr. Baybars Altunis, Chairman of WBAF, and the other respected speaker from different parts of the world. We in Oman, like any other country, we are valued the place of SMEs in the economy. So our government is keen to develop this sector. Keen in the normal situation and very keen in this situation. So they are getting support to recover their losses during the pandemic. I hope we all will cooperate with SMEs as the economic growth can be continued. As thank and the thank go to Mr. Zil Rahman. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.
Okay, my friend, Your Excellency from Oman. This is Noor Majid Humayun.
Yes, Your Excellency. How are you?
How are you? I'm to see this community. You're okay.
Alhamdulillah, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for your kind words. And I hope also in Oman, because with the WASME not working for only Bangladesh, we are trying to support all the SMEs across the world. So also our brothers and sisters in Oman, also they are getting very good support from the Oman government. I hope, and through you, the government will get this message as the SMEs, they can recover their losses what they deducted in their during this pandemic. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let us now. This is I see Honorable Minister. There is Mr. Babu is there, Mr. Nazisam Babu is there, and other members. You know, there are also other parliament members. Our Honorable Minister, he is in the for the his industry purpose or industry development purpose. He is there. This is okay. Okay, let us come to our other Excellency, our Honorable Excellency from Nepal. And I also observed he is very much dynamic. He is trying to develop the bilateral development between Bangladesh and Nepal. So, Excellency, not only for Nepal, we are working for Bangladesh, Nepal, India, America, Netherlands, Maldives, whatever, all the countries. So we will hear now from our Excellency about the Nepal, during the pandemic, what they got losses and what is the Nepali government, they taking the initiative. Already, of course, they taken some initiative for the support to the SMEs. Also the post-COVID, what the support they're going to take. Please, we are waiting to hear from you, Excellency.
Thank you, Jidu Rahmanji. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Namaskar. I am very much delighted to be here, and thanks for giving the opportunity, Honorable Minister of Industry, our chief guest of this webinar. With a great honor, I have learned a lot from this webinar, although in very short time. And I see that this SME are particularly much more important in developing countries like ours. Nepal being very close and cordial country, and with having much more similarities with Bangladesh, we face similar challenges, and we also have similar potentials, similar opportunities also. So Bangladesh has become, very fortunately to us, a role model in other fields also, and particularly in this SMEs sector also. The policy of Bangladesh government is really very appreciable. I'm very much impressed listening to our honorable minister and other friends here. So Bangladesh is doing a lot actually, and it's a real role model. And as already been explained, that these SMEs have really contributed as a backbone of the financial system of the country, of the major economy of the country, and also for the livelihood, for alleviating the poverty, for providing the opportunity of actually sustaining the life. So it's a very important, and this COVID has had impact or is having impact on every sector, because this is unique, a pandemic situation. Of course, SMEs have been affected badly, but very fortunately, Bangladesh, as a role model, I said previously, combated the situation, handled the situation, and managed this country to continue, keep the growth also, and recover the effect very soon, early. And it's a very much appreciating fact, and there are many learning things for you. In Nepal also, SME is equally very much important, and it's a substantial factor in Nepal's economy. It accounts for 80% of employment in Nepal, 70% of the total value of exports, and 90% of industrial GDP. The sector is characterized by a high degree of informal, to the extent that the country is often referred to as having the largest shadow economy. So this SME sector in Nepal is also very important, and government has actually done whatever it was possible, because Nepal has just started with a political stability since just 2-3 years after new constitution in 2015, and after experiencing long political instability, that economy also suffered. So Nepal is trying to recover, and with the loan disbursement, and with the also giving the opportunity to the payments schedule, government has actually given some incentives to the SMEs, and still trying to recover, because in Nepal the infection rate has become higher since last few months. Well, fortunately in Bangladesh the infection rate was declined, but fortunately the death rate is for this COVID in Nepal is still less, like 0.5, 0.6%. So we are trying to recover, and Nepal government is taking all the measures to lessen the bad effects or the impacts that has caused due to the COVID. And we are supporting SMEs, and actually in post-COVID we are hoping that with new policy, there are a lot of a committee has been set up in finance and industry comprising finance and industry people. And they are trying to have a new policy. It's under draft process to how to activate and how to give much more comfortable environment for the new SMEs also, and for recovering and speed up the recovery process. Fortunately, the best recovery has come through the SMEs, because all other, whatever few industries, larger industries, they are still crippling. So we have focused here, and thank you very much for giving the opportunity to learn and to know the recent situation of not only Bangladesh, the global situation also. This is the time that we have to be together in this sector also. And I feel very much pleased to be here in Bangladesh, a very, very closest friend of Nepal.
Yes.
And together in this sector also we can have very good learning from each other, and there are potentials of collaboration also. So thank you very much for inviting me, and long live Bangladesh-Nepal friendship. Thank you very much.
Mr. Jillur, here, tell His Excellency from Nepal,
Yeah.
our Honorable Prime Minister has already given direction to the Ministry of Industries to have 50,000 tons of urea fertilizer to recover their agriculture. And I have already signed it, and they will get it very soon from the
Thank you
CAFCO.
very much, Excellency. I'm very much obliged. Actually, I thought that this may not be the forum to
Yeah, already
say.
I have signed,
So,
and you can start it.
it's
Here.
great collaboration and a great
Thank you.
gesture of friendship.
Our Honorable Prime Minister, you can take it.
Thank you so much.
I've
On
already
behalf
signed
of people and government of Nepal,
Thank
I
you. Very
thank
good.
you sincere thanks to you and government of People's
I have
Republic of
traveled
Bangladesh.
so many times. I have traveled while I was a youth leader. I went there during.
So nice, Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Excellency. I will personally come to meet you, Excellency.
Thank you. Welcome anytime.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Excellency. Already our minister heard your full speech, and also he also informed that about the contribution from Bangladesh for our brother and sister of Nepal.
The leader is very much aware of our neighbors, and we take care of it. Anybody, whether small or big, it doesn't matter. We are there.
Great pride. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And really, already Excellency of Nepal, he mentioned that about the new government, new political situation, and the new constitution.
It's going to be very stable now. Nepal's politics is going to be stable. We
Right,
hope so.
right. We hope so, and we hope the political situation becomes stable.
And economic growth depends on the stability of political stability. That's the precondition.
Yes, Honorable Minister, you are right. Yeah. This is the main thing. This is the precondition for the development of not only for SMEs, the development of the economic growth for any country.
Economic.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Okay, we are getting. It's okay. No. Okay, let us hear now our friend and Mr. Muhammad Ali Jana. He is from Maldives, and I like to say something about Mr. Muhammad Ali Jana. He is very much in top position in Maldives. He is the president Maldives National Association of Construction Industry. Why this is production? Okay, and he's the president of Maldives National Association of Construction Industry, and president National Federation of Maldivian Employers, president International Federation of Asian and Western Pacific Contractors Association. So he is very much experienced and very well-reputed businessman in Maldives. So let us hear from our honorable speaker, Mr. Muhammad Ali Jana. Mr. Jana, floor to you, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellency Nurul Majid Mahmood Humayun, the Honorable Minister of Industry, the World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises, and Mr. Zilur Rahman for inviting me this afternoon to this prestigious webinar, and excellencies and all the distinguished guests here. It gives me, it's a privilege for me to be part of this webinar and to say a few words. I represent the Maldives construction and real estate industry, as well as the Asia Pacific region, the International Federation of Asian and Western Pacific Contractors Association, where BASI, the Bangladesh Association of Construction Industry, is also a member. We have 22 member countries, and I'm the current president. So I have visited Bangladesh on invitation by BASI twice, and I have seen the hard work the beloved people of Bangladesh are doing for the development and the betterment of your country. SMEs are the backbone of any country. I will give you an example. Our construction industry in the Maldives, our association has got 384 contractors in the Maldives. Out of that, only 7 are large contractors. The balance, 95% contractors are small and medium enterprises. We are a labor, we do not have enough labor and skills in this country. So we bring and recruit the skilled and unskilled labor from around the region. And we have about 150,000 Bangladeshi expatriates working in this country.
Jana. Okay, now I like to introduce our guest of honor. Guest of honor, Mr. Bebas Altuntas. Just now, I just introduced our honorable minister. Please, I'm drawing your kind attention about our guest of honor. He is the very much prominent and very much dynamic across the world for the World Business and Investment Forum.
Thank you, Zilur. I welcome. Just give your introduction. I'm very sorry that I have got another very government engagement here, so I have to leave the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You go on. Everybody is here, and the young man from Maldives, he is very nice. Going to help in any way, any form you decide in the world this COVID time. We are already in the field to help reviving the economy, the SMEs. We have already taken, and our government is doing disbursement, this stimulus packages, and everything is going on. I will help also, not only for small, for big also we have given packages. We have increased. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Our another speaker, Mr. Zakiuজ্জামান. He is the country representative for United Nations Industrial Development Organizations. So I hope, okay, Mr. Zakiuজ্জামান.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zilur Rahman. I would like to thank WASME for inviting UNIDO in this international forum. I would also like to thank keynote speakers for his beautiful presentation. Honorable Chief Guest, who just left due to emergency meeting, Excellencies and special guests, colleagues from around the world, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon as well, wherever you are. I would like to share some of our findings, what we did in the manufacturing sector. Recently, though our study has not published officially, I could share some of the information, which is more or less similar of other studies for the SME sectors. Our focus is absolutely manufacturing sector. We did a brief study between middle of June and end of July to see the impact of COVID-19 on the manufacturing sector of Bangladesh. We classified micro SMEs, large enterprises, around 227 samples were there. The findings, similar to other SME study says that 2/3 of the enterprises were thinking of close down their business if this lockdown or restrictions were continued. Fortunately, that due to the decisions of government of Bangladesh in May and gradually it opens until July, I am hearing from SME head of Bragg Bank, 95% of SMEs has opened their businesses, which is a good news for Bangladesh. And during that, the reason behind of their thinking of closing down their businesses were mainly shortage of cash flow. And they were thinking of minimizing this shortage of cash flow from taking loan from commercial bank, micro enterprises, and also reducing operational their operating cost. And we also saw that 27% of the surveyed enterprise had access to government packages. I would once again thank WASME for inviting UNIDO. Over to you, Mr. Zilur Rahman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zakir Jaman. Already you were, and already I should inform to our other respected guests that this WASME already enjoying this status, the consultative status with concerned agencies like this is one of this UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, as well as the other UNCTAD, ITC, WAPO, UNESCO, UNICITRAL, UNESCO. So thank you, Mr. Zakir Jaman, and also not we are working only for Bangladesh. Already I mentioned that we are trying to support all over. Our guest of honor, he is with us, and as I informed that our guest of honor, he is a very is famous and he's working very dynamically across the world. And just I should say something and like to introduce our honorable chairman of this WBAF. So Mr. Bebas Altunchas is the former senior advisor of the London Stock Exchange Group, LSEG. He is the executive chairman of the World Business Angels Investment Forum, WBAF. So let us welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Bebas Altunchas. Sir, floor to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, dear President of the World Association of SMEs, Zilur Rahman, and dear guests. I think we have to thank to dear Zilur Rahman for organizing such kind of an important convergence of thinkers about impact of COVID-19 for SMEs and startups, because today we really need to develop some innovative ideas to give some good responses to Mr. COVID. From SME's point of view, I want to share my some experiences with you because I am in the board of G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion, chaired by Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, and our main mission is to promote the importance of financial inclusion digitally and financial inclusion also in practice. But after Mr. COVID started traveling around the world, I think we have to consider the importance of digital inclusion first. Why? Because today, even in the United States, there are students who have no access to internet, who have no access to digital tools like computer and so on. So how are we going to deliver online education, online health services, and online digital financial tools to people who have no access to digital tools today. This is something that everybody has to start thinking very seriously. And as WBAF, we prepared a report a few months ago to G20 leaders to take the importance of digital inclusion into their agendas urgently. Why is it urgent? Because it seems that Mr. COVID is going to change the landscape of world economy very, very fastly. And any companies who are not ready to transform their businesses, to complete their digital transformation and business transformation, will suffer. So I think we have to focus on the new concepts, business transformation plan. Until now, we always focused on business plan. It is fine. Business plan is important, of course, while establishing a business, a new venture. But now investors started focusing on business transformation plans too of the ventures they are going to invest, and in getting ready to raise investment from angel investors, wealth management institutions, family offices, government grants, etc. I think it is very important to understand what is the new normal for investors of pandemic times. So, dear Zilur Rahman, I don't want to make a longer speech because I think business transformation plan and digital inclusion are two keywords of my speech, and I'm thanking you so much for your efforts to make to empower the world economies through the soft power of SMEs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable President, Honorable Chairman of WBAF. Really, you rightly mentioned about this business transformation plan, which need to be explored from the, which need to take initiative by the SMEs. Because of the investor, you are working a lot for the investors who are supporting to the SMEs. The SMEs, they are coming, there are a lot of SMEs and they are facing lacking of their fund, and you are doing very, very well. Not only from Turkey, it's from Russia, from America, from Afghanistan, from Saudi, from Emirates, Bangladesh, everywhere. Yeah, you are doing tremendous job, and I hope these SMEs, they will be very much conscious, as you mentioned, for the transformation plan. They should take the initiative for the transformation plan of the business as the investor come forward, right, Mr. Babers? So okay.
I think, dear Zilur, we also have to highlight the importance of responsible finance and also impact investments for the new normal. And any startup or entrepreneur who can develop innovative solutions to the needs of post-pandemic times, I think will be very, very in the agenda of governments to support, and governments and investors should come together and start thinking about how they can develop smart co-investor funds to develop such kind of innovative solutions. So your association, I think, is doing a great job by trying to convert such kind, create such kind of an awareness about the importance of digitalization. I like the topic very much, so I'm thanking you so much again for inviting me.
Thank you, honorable guest of honor, our very dear, our very much respected. And by the way, I should also mention here that I am also the one senator appointed from this World Business Angels Investment Forum, the world-renowned this organization for the investment for the business angels. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your very good suggestion. From your vast experience, you have raised many things, and I hope we have heard lots of our dignitaries and our speakers from different countries. They also hear your experience, suggestions, and I think we should consider about and we should go forward as per your advice. Thank you, Mr. Bevers, again. Okay, we are almost. Thank you. We are almost in our finishing position. So I like to thank all the speakers, already our chief guest. He given good time as per he told. Yes, he assured us that he would give the about 40-50 minutes. Yes, he given us the more time, and also we are very much also lucky that we got our guest of honors, and also we have these other speakers, and everybody you given so your very important, very precious time, and we who are involved in this WASME and who are trying to do something across the world for the SMEs, and we are very much delighted. We are very much happy that you given your time and you given your good suggestion, advice, and how we can go forward for the development of SMEs post-COVID, because we everybody know the in the COVID time, still it is not finished, but also we can say it is almost it's going to, we are getting something relaxed. So at the during this COVID, the maximum SMEs, not only in Bangladesh, not only in India or in Turkey or one country, in the full world, everybody they got losses. They disrupted this full these SME sectors, and now we need to support them. How they can get safeguarding, how they can recover their losses, how they can go forward as before, as there was dynamic before. Now I think some of them, they lose it. They already thinking that, oh, I have lost everything, how I can go forward. So we should work for them. Our speakers, our guest of honor, our experienced people, the business leaders, we should show them the way how they can come back in the proper way, proper track, as they can recover all the losses, and they can go forward. So thank you everybody, and our excellencies also here. And I like to go forward, finish this meeting, and I like to say my apologize if there is any mistake. And we got many requests from many speakers, but unfortunately, because to save the time, we just covered by this within 2 hours, but it's already now more than 2 hours. It is 2 hours 7 minutes like this, 8 minutes, and we're looking forward to cooperate each other and to meet each other and to serve the SMEs across the world. Thank you very much once again. Assalamu alaikum, and very good afternoon, and very good evening, very good morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.